behind that visual. Like the two go together. So even before you can get to the visual, you have to have your messaging. What is it about your brand that's unique or that you want to present to the world?
In a skeptical world, Miss Audrey, what are the key ingredients in branding strategy that actively builds a genuine trust, not just awareness?
Mhm. Right. So speaking first of all to the audience or the person that your persona or avatar is some people call it. So the messaging has to align with who you want to talk to, who you're talking to. So within that, you talk about how your brand, it's like the impact of your brand on that person or entity that you're trying to sell to.
How can a small business or a startup with a limited budget implement smart branding strategies that compete with larger players?
Absolutely. Well, they're living in a great age to be able to do that with leveraging social media and all of these tools that are actually free. You can organically you can start, and the social media has actually made it smart for us to be smart, right? So when you're looking to attract a certain demographic, let's just say that whatever that avatar is, that person or entity that you want to sell to or present your product or service to, it's easier with this type in the age we're living in with digital media to be able to define all those attributes to that avatar that you're trying to sell to. So that's one thing, really honing in on who you're talking to and creating your messaging around that based on what you offer.
On the strategy and foundation, what is the common mistake businesses make when defining their target audience, and how can a smart strategy define these for a better visibility and conversation?
Yes, really honing in. Say if you look at your audience as a bullseye or a target, and there's different rings around there, but the middle is the bullseye. Well, even myself when I first started, I was like in the outer ring. It was like in my base. My I sell to small businesses. Like really, that's they could be making $1,000 a month, or they could
Mhm.
be making $1 million a month. So you really need to target, and then that's all types of businesses within that outer ring, right? So really want to hone in. Okay, so what is it about the business that you really that you want to attract, that you want to sell to? So really, I've said this, I already said this right, but really defining. The mistake would be not defining who we're selling to.
How does a company discover and articulate its one of core brand message that will resonate across all platforms and communications, Miss Audrey?
Okay. So based on the platform you're on, so you're going to choose the content that you want to put on there, whether it's short, long form, or if it's video, if it's graphics, or audiograms, or just written content. So really know the type of content that's really attracted to your avatar on those different channels. And the other thing too is not to try to do, because we were talking about startups or in the beginning or limited budgets, is not to try to be everywhere at all times. We're always taught be where your clients are. Where your clients are everywhere, but sometimes they're not where you think they might be. So really, I would take like those first one or two and really put the most energy into that, and promote there. And as you grow, to expand out, so you can till you really understand the algorithms and how those different channels are receiving your content.
Why is brand consistency so critical for building trust, and what are the most or often overlooked touch points need to be aligned?
Okay. Yeah, consistency is definitely key. Consistency can be in the look of your brand, what you're posting out, but it also, how are you, or the duration. If you're going to be consistent, you only have time to do once a week, then make sure you're out there once a week at 2 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever the time frame that's working best for engagement, and do that. If you can do it every day, do it. But but really, but you have to be consistent, because sometimes we have a tendency to like come in and want to be robust, and you can do that, but then we fall flat because we can't keep it up. We had good intentions, right? But it
Yes.
it busted a hole in our consistency. So that's important. So the timing of posting or placing ads, that part of the consistency, and showing up with your messaging or image. So it's almost like if you're, I don't know, Coca-Cola or whatever other, major brand, you recognize it before you can hear or see the message. So that's consistency as well.
Consistency indeed in everything. Miss Audrey, how can a brand effectively communicate its core values in a way that feels authentic and actually influences purchasing decisions?
Yeah. Tell a story. I think stories are warm, and you can even enter yourself into the story a little bit, not in an arrogant or bodacious way of like, here, you look at me, not like that, but but just the beliefs, as a person, your core beliefs. So if you're telling a story about what you're selling or promoting, that's really good. So it comes back to the messaging and really speaking to the heart of the person, or it goes back to what I said earlier about not just features and benefits, but the impact of what your offer is to your audience.
Definitely.
Mm,
And Miss Audrey, tell us on visibility and discovery. With so much digital noise, what are the most effective yet underutilized strategies for a brand to cut through and get seen by the ideal customers?
yeah. I believe it still goes back to choosing and really really trying to get into that bullseye and be strategic, be consistent about to driving your point home, and just being there, whatever, again, if it's going to be every Monday or every Wednesday, whatever it's going to be, even if it's once a month, which is kind of hard, but to really just jump in there and be in there.
Yes. Do it consistently, people,
Hmm.
in everything. How can a brand's content strategy be designed to build a brand and drive sales simultaneously rather than just adding to the content pile?
Mm. Wow. Paid ads are always helpful. So being able to do that, having your paid ads, as well as, so you want to kind of like layer it. So if you're doing paid ads, doing organic ads, what we're doing right now, podcasting, so
Yes.
people can hear it and see us. We're our brand, right? We're the
Yes.
center of our brand. So that's another way to get that visibility out there, is being in different different channels, if you will. So different types of channels. And then,
Yes.
like, I'm on your show and I have my own show, but being on your show gives me visibility to your audience. So we always want to say, like, borrow someone else's audience in a way.
Mm-hmm. Borrowing each other. Yes, I like that. Miss Miss Audrey, I like that. Even the big companies, they always do consistently advertise, even they already well known.
Yes.
And how can strategic partnership with the other brands or influencers be used as a powerful level for visibility and trust branding
Mhm.
or building?
Yeah, that's definitely a good option right there. Influencers or strategic partnerships. Because then again, it goes back to borrowing.
I like that.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna have to take some language classes.
Let's borrowing each other. Oh, I like
Yes,
that.
yes. I mean, that's really what it is. And so then it's like, well, this person believes. And then the influencers, of course, if you are an influencer, then they're not just going to promote any product. The product, I think, has to resonate with them as well, not just to get a paycheck. So yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
definitely they have that consistency, they're not consistency, but that person that they're aligned with you and your core values as well.
Miss Audrey, how does a smart brand handle a public mistakes or crisis in a way that can actually strengthen trust and customer loyalty?
Yeah, this is to get out in front of it once it happens, and whether you discover it yourself or someone else pulls your coattail, and this this big blaring thing out there is just to show up in public and be honest about it. And whether you're sending press releases, people still send press releases, to your main media and to our independent media, and just come out and say, post another video on your YouTube channel, or even want to comment, and even if maybe a special podcast episode, and talk about, say, we messed up, and just wanted to come here and tell you face to face, that we did, not to try to make light of it, or say why it happened, and all that, but just to to not to just own up to it, and try not to go down that road again.
Yes, honesty is the best policy,
Mm,
people, for sure.
yes.
In an automated world, how can brands effectively humanize themselves to create deeper emotional connections with their
Mhm.
audience?
Yeah. So did you say how can we use AI? Um,
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So artificial intelligence is only intelligent with what we put into it. I can remember times when computers first came out, and for personal computers, and you had your big enterprise stations behind you. It's like there was always this saying of garbage in, garbage out. So whatever you put in there, and of course we call it now engineering prompts to put into, if you're going to use artificial intelligence, to help or assist you, to really train it, literally training it to speak in your voice and your values. Because if you're going to use it, you just don't grab it and write it, and grabs, oh yeah, and then put it out there. You still have to review it and put for you, so that it has your tone and your warmth and your personality.
Yes, personality indeed. The first time I encounter PC, they using DOS prompt. Imagine DOS prompt.
Oh God, I just had a flashback of that amber screen and the little blinking cursor.
Yes, blinker, sir. My goodness. So on driving sales and conversation, Miss Audrey,
Mhm.
how does a strong brand directly influence each stage of the sales funnel and awareness to consideration to final decision?
Okay, I know most people have heard of the funnel, and funnels are really interesting. And I think that we've probably used them before they were actually something on a computer, because you give kind of like an overview of the impact or the solutions to a specific to a particular problem that the customer, your prospect, is trying to serve. And so it each so you're giving more information, and speaking again to, so really whatever that problem is, that they need a person needs a solution to, and the how does what you have can influence that change, or give them the positive outcomes that they're looking for. So all of that, and then so if they're seeing you, they see your funnel, but at the same time, perhaps you've done some advertising over here, or some organic posts. You have your newsletter, and you're talking and you're giving value over here and over there. And then when it comes time to make it that offer, and hopefully that they buy, like you said, going to the conversion process, all different levels of the selling process. And by the time they get through there, okay, yes, they're ready to buy, maybe even before they get through the whole funnel, so to speak.
A full panel indeed. And Miss Audrey, what will be your short term and long term goals?
Wow. My short-term goals is to finish my own book.
Yes. Good luck for that.
Right, right. Thank you. I need it.
Yes, looking forward for that. And please do come over on Abstract Essay and my book 101 review and let's talk about it.
Oh,
after.
yes, I've loved that. Thank you, Daniel. Yes, for sure. Yep, you'll be the first one I'll come calling. Daniel, I finished. I finished.
Yes. What will be the title of the book?
Oh, Escaping the Fortune 500.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Hmm. Yeah,
Interesting indeed.
yeah. A lot of us have been there. Yeah.
Definitely.
We
And what will be your long term?
So my long-term goal then would be able to evolve the business even more. And when I first started 30 years ago, it was all graphic and web design, and web design came later. So it was, basically it was graphics. And I've evolved over time with the change of technologies, digital marketing, all that. So I would love to be it's at some point in a position where I'm just doing the coaching and consulting, helping others do the same thing to grow their enterprises.
Mm.
So a little more hands off of the content creation.
Good luck to you girls, Miss Audrey, and looking forward for more success. And can you please give your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
Start where you are, understand what you have in your hands because there's a lot of power, there's knowledge right here in your hands. Understand it, believe in yourself, and find someone that you can confide in. Get a good mentor or coach that can see that in you so they can remind you that you are enough.
Yes, we are enough. For sure. And thank you for that advice. Miss Audrey, and can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Yes, absolutely. I know we talked earlier. My one favorite book, I had went through a leadership program, and one of the books that we used was Emotional Intelligence. And there's another version that's come out. This one's 2.0 by Travis Bradbury and Jean Greaves. And this is such a good foundation because it gives you kind of a psychology without having a psychology class, so you can really understand you as a person. This helps in our communications with wherever, whatever level, and understanding and being aware of ourselves and surroundings, and then being able to, that helps us to understand others and to communicate better is, more intelligently. It's a play on the word intelligence, right?
I like that word. To be intelligent, to be clever in
Oh my
everything.
gosh, yes.
I want that one, Miss Andre. To
Yeah.
be clever, to be intelligent, to be what? Smart.
Hmm.
Those all the things that we need to have in our daily lives to cope up with this busy, busy, busy world. And thank you for that recommended book, Miss Audrey. And well, if a business could only focus on improving one aspect of its branding to see the biggest impact on trust and sales, what should it be?
It would be their messaging. Forget the logo, forget the graphics. Even though I'm a graphic designer, your message. Really hone in that message so it speaks to who you want to sell to.
Truly, truly empowering. Indeed. Message for sure. And Miss Audrey, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101 Love Letters in third season, and Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in its fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Audrey, what emerging trend or shift in consumer behavior should smart brands be paying attention to know stay relevant for the future?
I think the trends now are just being, things are moving so fast that we have to get our message, whatever our message or visual, get that visual out there so we can really get the person engaged and hold them so they can get to the rest of. the message. I think that's really it, because with the agentic AI and those, really, we really need to take advantage of using that technology.
Definitely. And Miss Audrey, tell us what is all about your upcoming book.
Oh man, that's gonna force me to finish it if I start talking about it.
Yes, that's why I'm asking you what is all about so that you will finish it now.
Okay, I appreciate that support, Daniel. So the book is for startups, but it's also for seasoned entrepreneurs to remember why they got into business in the first place. But really, taking that person from day one, they're sitting there, at their job, and they're like, "Oh my God, there's got to be more to life than this." And so it's really an empowerment piece, as well as like a structure. How to start. That's the boring part, right? How to start a business. You can get anywhere, but to really understand, the details of that, and bringing it that you are a person. So there's little anecdotes, and really there's advice and inspiration throughout the book as well.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward for that book, Miss Audrey. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to
Thank
the world.
you.
So, can you please invite our listeners to support your business, your advocacy, or whatever projects that
Yeah,
you're doing right now, or your upcoming book?
yeah, definitely. So if you go to my website, altogether.biz, you'll be able to sign up for my newsletter, and that way you can stay in touch with me and find out, what I'm doing. It comes out weekly, and you'll be able to you'll hear about the book, the podcast, and everything else. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks,
You are
everyone.
most welcome. Was welcome, Miss Audrey. Yes, people, let's support Miss Audrey because if you support her, for sure, more and more smart brand builder to come. So, Miss Audrey, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you, Daniel.
More to come, people. See you soon.